Good morning, cyber traders. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Everybody ready to go to work this morning? Good to see you all. Good morning, everybody on YouTube, Facebook. Good to see you, Mario. Good to see you, Tina. Good to see you, Randy, Grant, Phil, everyone. Welcome back. Looks like we're having a pretty decent morning. For some of you that are not on on YouTube, probably didn't see this, but we start trading around 9:30, about 7:45 in the morning, about an hour ago. And this is not one of the stocks that are on the watch list. You could see it right there. I'll just copy it and put it over there and just show everybody on YouTube. But if everybody looks on in the trading room, you could see that we had that list that did pop up, and the one was up there was the ZEV, this one right here. And it started a little late. I started around 8 o'clock. It was like basically had this really nice push around the 7 a.m. big move right there. And then all of a sudden, it just came out of nowhere. It just made a nice little pop right there around 9:30, 9:39, is that? Yeah. And then just made about a nice little dollar move. Stock looks really, really strong. First of all, there's a lot of big news that are coming out, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. We all know what's going on with the infrastructure deal. We all heard about the infrastructure deal, and it looks like it's going to pass $1 trillion. And I don't think it's the $1 trillion infrastructure talking about. It's the $3.5 trillion, which is basically the Green New Deal, which is making a lot of these EV stocks moving. So there was some of the stocks we traded yesterday. We're going to talk a little bit about them. There was, we had the plug, we had the FSL. They're still moving. Listen, you saw what happened. How powerful Congress is, okay? You see how, you might like them, you might hate them, you probably don't even pay attention, who knows? But when you're in this business, you have to listen what these people say because they make these things run. Let's talk about COVID really quick. You have President Biden and constantly keep pushing out there. You got to get the vaccine shot. You got to get the vaccine shot. You got to get the vaccine shot. And, look at the stock that some of you probably wish you probably could have had, even way before March when the thing took off. I mean, we're talking about this March. Look at last year. Mandora was literally at $37. But the big thing was, look what happened over here back in July. It was at $230. Things are already at $480. You're probably like, man, I should have bought it then, whatever it is. There's it's going to go to 1,000. And you know what? Skip, it might do that. You know what I mean? So it's still a deal if you're paying $480. But the more they keep pushing it, and you know what? I think a lot of the news is coming out because I think a lot of the people are not getting the vaccine, that the ones that are very skeptical, is because they didn't get FDA approval yet. So once FDA approval comes in, that will just basically just put it right on the top. You know what I mean? But listen, I'm just saying just on that thing. Now you're talking about infrastructure. You're not talking about like, a couple of $1 billion, you're talking trillions. A trillion is 1,000 billions, okay? That's what a trillion is. So you're talking 3,000 billions, okay? If this deal goes through, you already got 1 trillion that looks like it's going to pass. So a lot of these EV stocks are going to basically, are really going to probably make a move. And I told you that a while ago, but they kind of took a big hit. But they're moving now, so we're going to keep an eye on them. Anyway, I had this stock over here. Why did it come off? MNRA. All right, so meanwhile, it's only up 2 cents. It's pretty funny. Anyway, let's talk about what happened yesterday because we have a lot of good stocks that did make some moves. I want to talk about the work trade. These couple of stocks had some really, really nice moves. You could see how this one had a really nice pop around 9 o'clock in the morning and then basically had a nice push, but then right around 3 o'clock, it just completely tanked. But, the first hour, it did pretty well. And he was also a nice little stock also, right around 10:30. Stock did a little bit of a slingshot right there, right the open, and it literally went from like 540 all the way to about 650. Plug, I thought Plug was probably the nicest, and I think Plug is still looking pretty strong. This obviously is going to look like more of a swing trade, not only just a day trade, but when you look at these stocks right here, I mean, Plug, you got to look at this stock was in the 70s, crying out loud. So when you're thinking like 29, it already ran, you know what? Okay, well, listen, these things go through and they start pulling all these plug stations all over the place. I mean, that's where the money's going, basically. So you got Plug that made a nice little move. What else is Well, actually, it's going on the watch list. AMC had the earnings yesterday. By the way, who's going to the movie theaters? I mean, that sounds pretty. They're trying to be a little savvy regarding about, now they want to get in the crypto business, and we'll say crypto now. But and I see crypto obviously made a really, really nice move, but AMC had a really nice little pop after hours. I mean, that would have been a really good, after hours trade. And BFLY. That was the other one that we found too. That one moved really nicely yesterday too. That one had a nice push around 9:15, and then basically just went from like 10.90 all the way up to about 12, up to about 10.30. Really, really nice push. Had a couple of nasty shakes though. If you look at the high and lows, it did have some nasty shakes. Which, by the way, we're doing phase 1 next week. One of the big topics we're going to be focusing on is on tradable and non-tradable. So you got to be careful when it comes to that. Remember the 3 T's: tradable, trend, and trap. Those are 3 things you got to worry about. All right, so now what's going on this morning? We've got a couple of nice little stocks. First of all, Plug is going back on the watch list. Oh, now she decided to make a big move. So Plug's doing really, really nice. I saw that on the by the way, ZEV has a huge iceberg order at $10. Okay, but just want to bring this up right here. There was a nice little iceberg order right here, right around 29.50. The guy's been out there for since almost 8:15. He's been out there for a while. Looks like he just got filled. Big block order just got filled right there. Big sign why the stock popped. Once again, follow the money. That one's obviously doing pretty well, and obviously FSL runs with it side by side. It's not really doing as well as that one as Plug, but FSL obviously is also gapped up pretty nicely. FULC, another one that made the watch list. Nice little push, $10 to almost 15. She's starting to trend down a little bit. Nice little pharmaceutical stock. Obviously, what they came out was probably pretty good there. Don't know what it is, but I could tell just by the movement of the pre-market. But she's downtrending, so I would a little be cautious about that one. IMV also came up on my watch list. Nice little cheap level 1 stock. I know a lot of people looking things they can afford. This might be up your alley. It's got some nice support levels around here, around 220. It did go as high as 235 in pre-market. Stock was into 450. Not a bad stock. I kind of like it. I'll put it on the second protocol list. KXIN, another one that made the watch list. It's got nice little support levels right around here, around 325. She did go all the way up to as high as 363. She dropped about close to about 40 cents already, but she's trading in a range right here. So I'm looking at that. That range that she's doing right here. She had that big pop around 7 o'clock this morning. And you know what? The stock has obviously been on a really good move the last couple of days. I mean, just about, on Friday, the stock was at the $1.80. We traded that. That was fun. But looks like she's picking up some momentum all of a sudden, today. So we'll see how that one works out. She got some resistance levels right around 4. That could happen. Plus, it's got a really nice spread. 7 million shares though traded. That's a lot in pre-market. AMC CEOs on CNBC. AMC. Okay, usually that helps make a little bit of a pop and a move. Whatever they say, just always try to sell it. I always found out whenever I see the CEO talking, I always try to sell in the middle of his conversation, unless he comes out with some breaking news that he doesn't want to share, and he says it at the end. But that's usually what happens. So we got the ZEV. We're going to keep an eye on that one, and we're also going to keep an eye on FSR. Okay, so FSR, I know you guys have been trading in pre-market too. Once again, Fisker, this is an EV stock. Stock's doing pretty well. I think I was talking to Josh. We looked up on the news on it. They said, what was it, Josh? They said, who's it, for First Boston? Somebody said they projected going to $50, something like that, and somebody even said to 70. So it put a really big bullish on Fisker. So that's another stock-wise bringing up upgrades and downgrades. We talk about that in trading. So if they're upgrading it, it looks like it's doing pretty well. So that one, keep a close eye on it. So it looks like with this whole new infrastructure deal, you know what? I always tell you this. There's always, things that will make the market move. I preferably like catastrophes, okay? But when you have stuff like this, you know what I mean? Like what's going on in infrastructure, it's going to hurt some other markets, but it's going to help others. So listen, these stocks took a little bit of a beating. By seeing what's happening over the course of the day, this is how you're going to learn how to invest or do some swing trades. All right. Anything I'm missing, I did not call out. Anything else? Once again, not all these stocks are going to move. Like we always say, we always find new ones that will pop up when the market opens up. But like anything else, you got to be in it to win it. And pre-market is where it's at. Martha has one stock we're going to check out, the AHPI. Beautiful stock. You know what? The reason why it come on my watch list, it just popped at 9 o'clock. Where is it? Is it up here yet? No, it's only on 19%. But I definitely throw it out on the watch list. Good call right there. The only thing I'm too crazy about, Arthur, is the spread's a little bit big and tier size are very, very small. So that's the only concern that I have with this stock. And we know that, you know, half the battle is beating the spread. Okay. All right, guys. So listen, we'll be back here at 2:30. And don't forget, today's Tuesday. Tuesday, we have Traders Talk. So if you're in the Cyber Group room and if you're a new trial here, just sit back, listen, and learn, and enjoy. It's time to take a break at that time. And we'll do that at 11. But in the meantime, we'll start commentating at 9:30 once the market opens up. So everybody, if you're watching YouTube, Facebook Live, just like us, friend us. You know, be happy to come and join us every morning, or you can always jump in the room and do a trial and see how that works out. Thanks, everybody. Happy trading. Be safe, and I'll see you back here at 2:30.